Good morning and welcome to Saturday in your studio. I'm Helen and I'm here in Legagnier in northern France, and if you watched my video last week you'll see that I'm in a different studio this week. I have been kicked out of my studio whilst the floor is being done very kindly by my other half. So I'll show you that in a minute, but in the meantime I have moved into the lounge and taken over the lounge and made that my studio. So you'll see behind me that I've got a painting on the go. I've been to the best shop in the world in France earlier this week and got canvases and paints and all sorts of things. So it's been a really productive week and I'll show you around there now. So here's the painting that I had started last week, and I'm not quite sure what to call it yet. It's nowhere near finished still, but I'm thinking maybe of calling it 3 dandelions, because there are 3 dandelions there, 1, 2 and 3, but also primroses, I'm not sure, springtime, maybe printemps, springtime in French, if I've said that right. I'll double check my pronunciation. You see I'm near the door for some light, but there's nowhere near enough light, so I've also commandeered the lamp as well to give myself extra light. Shows that you can do anything if you're determined. You can find a space and fill it. So I've commandeered the table for my stuff, all my stuff on there. Show you a couple that I've finished this week. So I finished this one. This is Autumn in the Secret Garden, and it's one that I started a long time ago, but I've finally managed to get it around to finishing it. And likewise with this one down here, and I'll show you better pictures of these on the screen. But that one is the same, so I'm sat in the same position as the one I've just shown you, but looking in the opposite direction. So that one's looking towards the summer house, secret garden, and that one's looking towards the orchard. So yeah, it's been a really good week. I'm just going to take you back to this one. If you remember, I talked about working in really thin oil paints and experimenting with that. I'm afraid I've abandoned that because I've been enjoying myself too much with the exact opposite, which is kind of more my style really. So if I show you that, I've got some quite nice textural paint on there. It's coming along nicely. So well, I'll probably go back to having a go with the thin oils at some point, but for now just seem to work more effectively doing it this way. So that's the way that I'm going to do it. I've applied this with a palette knife over the top of, so if you saw it earlier, and I'll see if I can find a photo to put up on the screen of an earlier section of this painting, these primroses were all looked a lot more like primroses than they do now. And then I've worked over the top with a palette knife to get a kind of more of an abstract feel. I actually find it quite difficult to do abstracts. A lot of people seem to think that it's easier doing an abstract. It's actually quite difficult because you have to get your mind into a certain mindset, and it's a lot easier just to do what's in front of you, to actually make it a lot more representational. So I have struggled with this, but I do think it's finally getting there. It's not there yet, but I shall keep working on it, and hopefully I'll be able to show you it next week. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little walk around, and next week I think I'm probably going to actually talk you through my painting process while I'm actually doing it. I'd love some feedback if there's anything in particular that you'd like to see. That would be great. Thanks ever so much again for watching, and I hope to see you tomorrow with the Helen Johnson Artist in the Garden somewhere in northern France, and next week for Saturday in your studio.